Hi everyone, we're back, high altitude scale modeling, and as promised, I got here de Havilland 48 scale Sea Vixen FAW.2 from Trumpeter, and yes, I got the name right this time, and the 148 de Havilland Sea Vixen FAW.2 Airfix. We're going to compare both. This one up. We're going to compare exact sprues, but we'll compare detail, decals, things like that. So this one up. This one I've had for a while. As you can see, I've got Martin Baker True Details ejector seats. I've got the directions, the color call out, the decals, and I don't know what that is. And this has not been opened. So, getting the Airfix kit on eBay, sometimes as low as $50, sometimes as high as $150, depending on your luck. I can't use a knife because this is getting loud. I always have hated how they throw everything into one bag. And if you notice, the Airfix box was much bigger. I don't know why, but it was. Now this just isn't going to cooperate now, is it? Alright. Now, if you've seen the review of the Trumpeter / Hobby Boss, as I called it, you know what we were looking at. So, one sprue with both of the side pods, instrument panel, speed brake opening, intakes, landing gear parts. So let's pull out one of these. Here. Get that out of the way. Concentrate on sprue by sprue. So, size-wise, from nose to tail, you can see, hopefully, a little bit of difference in the tails. Okay, and supposedly these are the same FA2 variant, FAW2 variant. But you can see this one's got a more rounded tail. This one's got a more flat tail. But doing more research, I don't know which is right. We're just here to do comparisons. So there's an instrument panel here. There's not one on this sprue. There is part of a tail section. Now, looking at detail, this has absolutely no rivet detail. It does have recessed panel lines. And I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Airfix because one of my friends, Paul Bretland, built this kit, the Airfix kit, and it turned out really well. So, obviously there's no problems with it. But detail-wise, if this rivet detail is accurate, then this one goes to Trumpeter. Same with the tail part. And this is the part that goes around the navigator's window, and this is the part that goes around the navigator's window. This one has rivet detail. This one does not have rivet detail. And the Airfix one is a little larger than the Trumpeter one. Okay. Now, we need the instrument panel, which is on this one. So, I'm sorry, the cockpit tub, I mean. So there's the cockpit tub on that one. There's the cockpit tub on that one. And as you can see, there's another bit of difference there. This panel is bigger. These panels are elevated at an angle more. And the size difference could just be the way it goes together. Because, you know, this could connect differently than that. So we're not going to talk about that. But the panels are different. On that, this is the door to the speed brake. And this is the door to the speed brake. They're pretty close to the same. A little bit of difference. Oops, can't see. There you go. They're pretty close to the same. A little bit of difference, but nothing too major that would be an issue there. Though this one's a little more rounded than this one, but that again could be where they sit in there. The inside of the gear doors. Inside the gear doors. Inside the gear doors. Again, they're both detailed pretty well. This one has got the walls built in. This one you have to put in the sidewalls, which were nicely detailed. Okay, let's set this aside. Find the part with the speed brake opening, which we know is the bottom of the fuselage, which is right here. Wrapped nice and clean and separate. So. Trumpeter one's got tanks, a little more wiring. This one's got different wiring in it. So a little more detail, but not bad detail. So nothing wrong with the Airfix one. Just in this case, the Trumpeter one has a little more detail. Put that over there. The intakes, these intakes are pretty close to the same on both. You have to put them together. Front landing gear bay. Right there. And you don't see it right away, so let's move away from this part. Scroll you on out. Sorry, nose cone fell. Okay. This is the bottom half. This is the bottom half. Overlaying them. Since that one's bigger, let's overlay this way. You can see this one is more in the back. But this way they fit really well together. Detail wise, again, this is very nice detail. Nice recessed panel lines. Looking good. Good detail. This one, as we saw the other day, has rivets, recessed panel lines. Seems to be a little thicker plastic. But again, this detail isn't awful. There's flash around the front landing gear around that one. There's not on that one. These humps look about the same. They're both flat on the back. These are raised a little bit. So, again, is rivet detail important to you? And the Trumpeter kit cost me around $50 plus shipping from Japan. This particular Airfix kit cost me around $75 a couple of years ago. So, top of the fuselage without the cockpit part. That one's closer than the other one. Try like this. Yep, different openings for the engine nacelles. And, you know, we keep talking about it. Both have those there. This one has a half moon shaped vent right there. This one has this shaped vent right there. And then this and this are different. These you can't count because they're part of the nacelle structure. They both have the same vents in front. This has got a little more curvature than this does. A little more definition right here. But again, not bad. The opening of the intakes is one piece, just like on the Trumpeter kit. And this one has some wing detail to it. So, grab some wing detail. We got wings are pretty close. Pretty close. Detail again. This Airfix has this part on it, this doesn't, so I'm not sure if that's something we add later or not. Wingtips, about the same, both have light openings, both have movable flaps. Rivet detail, no rivet detail. This is for the rake part that goes in there. This is for it in there. This looks much thicker than that one, and this one we know is PE. This one's plastic. In the bottom of the wings, let's see, top, bottom. Same thing, close to the same size. This one's got a bigger opening for the rail part than this one does. Looks like it's got workable flaps where this one doesn't, but they both have workable ailerons. We looked at the instrument panels, gear doors, here and here. Some detail, a little bit of detail in those gear doors, a little bit more detail in those gear doors. Okay, so we covered most of that one, correct? One piece flaps. These are the inside of the main gear doors. Those aren't on that one. They're on this one. So, both have ejector pin marks in them. This one's got a little raised detail there, this one doesn't. Neither one of them are absolutely fabulous, but they're both workable. The exhaust and the exhaust both have a place for the arrestor hook. This one just goes out farther. Probably something attached there. This one's got the more detail, hollow detail around these very thin parts right there. Where this one doesn't, that's made probably in the engine. Pilots, I don't think there were pilots with the Trumpeter one. Okay. And last sprue of the Airfix, there's 3. Mainly weapons. I do like the weapon selection better on this one. I like the rocket pods. I like that you move the flaps. Like I said, these rails here are photo etch for the wings. They're plastic here, so they're thicker. Instrument panel here. And this instrument panel here. So, Hobby Boss instrument panel. Recessed, detailed, looking nice. Airfix instrument panel. Raised detail. Could be workable. The seats. And I bought resin seats. Hopefully they'll work on the either one. but seats. Side part of the seats and the side part of the seats on the Airfix one both have nice detail. This actually has a little better detail on the sides than this one does. Check out the seat. A little more detail on that one than on that one. Where'd it go? So it's got more detail. Okay. Clear parts. No seam line in any of these. Those clear parts look good. So the clear parts are looking really good for this one. Hobby Boss one, as we know, is all wrapped up. And they're also nice and clear. These have Hobby Boss, Trumpeter one has riveted framing around it. The Airfix one doesn't, but it may have a frame when you attach it. And you see, that's one part that confuses me, because they're both 48 scale, both the same variant, but the size of these windows is completely different. And this one's got riveting around it, the Trumpeter one, the Airfix one doesn't. Front one, riveting, no riveting. Both are clear, both look good, both you can make work. So, wrap both these up because I don't want the clear parts scratched. And since that's the only thing Airfix bagged separately, that point goes to Trumpeter. Okay. Trumpeter decals. Sorry, Airfix decals. These are printed by Cartograph. Enough said. Amazingly wonderful Cartograph decals. Looking good, all in register. And I was told by multiple people the Hobby Boss decals were wrong. If I can find them in here. You can see white serial numbers, black serial numbers. So Airfix scores a big one with the correct serial numbers. Now, that's bigger, that's smaller. One of them's completely out of scale. This one has a nice shark's mouth. Neither one of them have the same. You can see if any of the numbers are the same, but none of them are. Walkways, you know, a cartographer is just going to work better. You know that without even thinking about it. And there's a lot more stencils on the Airfix sheet. So decals definitely go to Airfix's favor. Color callouts. The sea gray one. All the sea gray ones. None of the blue ones that the Trumpeter kit has. And these are basic old school Airfix directions. Pilots, seats, instrument panels, cockpit together, intakes. So no need going over all that. Stencil data, extensive stencil data. I do like the rocket pods. I wonder if I make those work on. I'm going to build both of them eventually, because I have all my kits to build. But man, there's a lot of stencils on this. Okay, let's put all this safely to one side. So, let's go back to this one. Move my Airfix membership out of the way. Weapons and fuel tanks. I see the wheels on that one. Weapons. So those and those are the same. These just have better fin detail, and the fins are more scale thickness on the Trumpeter one. Doesn't look like it has these weapons, but it has these weapons, which I prefer. Both have drop tanks. Trumpeter has rivet detail, Airfix doesn't. There's the rockets, there's the wheels. Airfix has weight on wheels, and they're one-piece wheels. That's much nicer, because Trumpeter does not have weight on wheels, and they're two-piece wheels. Close to the same size. The detail on the Trumpeter ones are obviously bigger. You can see brakes and stuff, but these have weight on wheels. Or not weight on wheels, depending on, they give you the option. And these are good weight on wheels with an indentation. So, there you go. Pylons look good on both. What else we want to look at while we're here? Like I said, I'm going to be using these when I build the Airfix one. Since the Trumpeter one just came out, I don't think there are ejector seats yet, but since they have the same ejector seat, as long as they're not too far off in scale, it should be okay. Hollow openings for the back of the rocket pods. Here are, I'm guessing, does that have folding wings? Did I not look at that? Because the Trumpeter one does not have folding wings. Yes, this one has folding wings. There's an advantage. I could build one that doesn't have folding wings, and the one with folding wings. I like that. So, is there a clear-cut winner here? That depends on you. On you and your ideas of what's important detail-wise. Ease of assembly, I have no clue because I haven't assembled them. Like I said, Paul did himself an Airfix Trumpeter, an Airfix Sea Vixen, and it turned out beautiful. Or maybe it was at the Javelin and the Airfix didn't turn out beautiful. I may have to go back and look. I may have misspoken. Oops, wrong way. Detail. It doesn't have folded wings. Why does it have separate wings? Let me double check that before I misspeak. Wings, wings, wings. Nope, no folding wings. They just slot right in. Just wanted to be sure. I hate to do one of these and have to redo it because I misspoke. So, let's look at that one part there that I completely left out. Where is it? Two parts I left out. the nose cone and the nose cone. I think they both look great. They both look almost identical. Those parts you might actually be able to interchange, except how they fit on. That's good. Now I was looking for the front of that cockpit. Here's all the detail I was talking about inside the wheel wells. It's not inside the wheel wells of the Airfix one. There we go. Front half with the cockpit, front half with the cockpit. This has all that heads-up detail and everything there. And you know, I'm starting to think maybe these are different versions no matter what they say, but I'm not a Sea Vixen expert, so one of you guys will have to tell me. Side window there. Side window there. Again, I can't see a clear-cut winner. Here's the rivet detail and front intake with these parts. So it's got much more detail. Sorry, you didn't see that. Much more detail. Again, I can't say there's a clear-cut winner. If you can get one easier than the other, get one cheaper than the other, or build them both. If you're a huge Airfix fan, there's nothing wrong with this one as far as I can see, but I haven't built it. It does have the center tail in the back, the elevator. It does have a workable part, but the Trumpeter one doesn't. So, clear-cut winner, you watch the video. You let me know who you think the clear-cut winner is, if there is such a thing. As far as the decals and the markings go, I've heard from all of you already that Trumpeter is wrong. So, Airfix wins that battle. Bagging, one huge bag. That ain't it. One huge bag of parts for the Airfix one, and some bubble wrap bags for these. So, Airfix, Trumpeter, you decide. I'm just glad that there's a good new Sea Vixen out there, because this kit is getting hard to find. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.